You have to give President Joe Biden an A for persistence. Yesterday, President Biden announced another program on student loan debt. He still wants to forgive student loans. And now he's getting some pushback on this as far as the timing goes. We all know why this is such an urgent issue for the president. He's hurting with the younger demographic as far as voters goes right now as we head into the November elections. Could this be a way that Joe Biden is literally buying votes? Welcome in. I'm Joey Hudson, sitting in for Mike Gallagher as he travels this week. Hope you'll join the conversation. There's a lot of ways that you can do so. 1-800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453 is the MyPillow text line. Your comments are welcome. Your phone calls are welcome as well. Choose option 1 if you'd like to talk on air. Choose option 2. You can just leave a quick voice message. And I welcome your emails. You can email me directly, joey@joeyhudson.com. So let's start with Joe Biden yesterday as he is pandering to the youth, because that's what this is all about. Yes, he has said from the beginning that he would eliminate some of the student debt, but boy, is he trying hard. I mean, the Supreme Court struck down his last plan. The Supreme Court basically saying, as president, you can't do this. This takes a congressional act. But he tried again yesterday. Here's Joe Biden as he gives a brief summary of what his plan is.
Today, I'm proud to announce 5 major actions to continue to relieve student debt for more than 30 million Americans since I started my administration. First, my administration will propose a new rule to cancel up to $20,000 in runaway interest for any borrower that owes more now than when they started paying the loan. It's a big difference. And for low and middle class families enrolled in my SAVE program, we'll cancel all of your interest. Second, we plan to cancel student debt for borrowers who still owe student loans even though they started repaying them more than 2 decades ago. Folks, third, we plan to cancel debt for about 2 million borrowers who would be eligible for debt forgiveness through the SAVE program, public service loan forgiveness, or other debt canceling programs, but are not enrolled in these programs. Some of you are only finding out after the fact, as you're a teacher, a firefighter, a cop, that you qualify, but you just didn't know about it before. And now but you're eligible no matter how long you've been out of the program. Fourth, we plan to cancel debt for borrowers who the Department of Education determines were cheated by universities that left students with unaffordable loans and delivered little in benefits to students. And you know one of those colleges was closed. I won't mention it. And finally, the Department of Education will propose a new rule to cancel student debt for Americans facing financial hardships, from child care to health care, to prevent them from paying back their loans. And over the coming months, the Department of Education will propose and then implement these plans. And starting this fall, we plan to deliver up to $20,000 in interest relief to over 20 million borrowers and full forgiveness for millions more. I can tell by the looks on some of your faces, this relief is not news to you all, because this relief can be life-changing, just as you heard from Ashley. Folks, I will never stop to deliver student debt relief on hardworking Americans, and it's only in the interest of America that we do it. And again, it's for the good of our economy that's growing stronger and stronger, and it is. By freeing millions of Americans from this crushing debt of student debt, it means they can finally get on with their lives instead of their lives being put on hold.
President Biden yesterday, as he unveiled his latest attempt at canceling student loan debt. As you can imagine, some of the pushback that he has received. Headline from the Daily Mail: Biden ripped by Republicans for bribing young voters with latest socialist student loan forgiveness plan for 30 million Americans, including the $146 billion already canceled by the administration. Is that what this is? Do you agree that Biden is just pandering to that younger demographic, a demographic that poll after poll after poll has shown he's struggling with? Is this just good old-fashioned vote buying?
I'm announcing a new plan to forgive more loans for 25 million more Americans, including millions of our public servants. And that means, for example, if you've paid undergrad loans for 20 plus years or graduate loans for 25 or more years, your loans will be completely forgiven, regardless of your income and even if you did not graduate. So I'm going to repeat that. If you've paid undergraduate loans for more than 20 years or graduate loans for more than 25 years, those loans will be completely forgiven regardless of your income and even if you did not graduate. And forgiveness will be automatic for the vast majority of the 25 million people that we believe will benefit from this approach.
Let's just give it all away. Vice President Kamala Harris, the entire Biden administration was out in full force yesterday. That was the vice president in one location. The president, of course, made the major announcement that he once again is going to try to forgive student loan debt. A lot of you commenting on the MyPillow text line. Texter says, this is Ray from my home state of South Carolina. Good morning, Joe. I have a question. Who enforces the Supreme Court rulings? Mr. Biden has been told by SCOTUS that he cannot cancel student loan debt, and yet he's just trying to do it again. Who is the enforcement arm of the court? Unfortunately, it just means it's going to be another lengthy court battle. And I'm not so sure that that's not a bigger part of the entire Biden program. Does he really want to eliminate the student loan debt? Or does he just want to create another issue that he can use as a wedge issue with Republicans? Because, of course, Republicans, yes, there's going to be a lot of challenges to this. It'll probably end up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court again. And while all of this is playing out this year, Biden and the Democrats are going to be pointing the fingers at the Republicans who are challenging this as the bad guy. The Republicans, the rich Republicans, don't want to help the poor people. Now, you notice that the vice president indicated doesn't matter what your income level is on this loan forgiveness program, the latest scheme that Biden has. So you could have doctors, lawyers, people who are high income earners who still have student loans that they just don't have to pay back. And when Biden argues that this is going to help the economy, this is going to help everyone, somebody eventually has to pay this. And that's the point that some of these young people who may benefit from this and get pretty excited about this program, they're going to pay for it eventually. Somebody is. We're not going to be able to add trillions of dollars more in our debt and not pay it off eventually. So yes, they don't have to pay their student loan off now. 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, when they're out in the working world and their taxes keeps going up because we're having to pay off the debt that was increased because we forgave student loan debt. There's nothing free. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Need I remind you? Other comments on the MyPillow text line. Joey, SCOTUS ruled no to the president about student loan debt forgiveness, yet he continues. Have all checks and balances in our government been deemed irrelevant? Greg from Battle Creek, Michigan. Thank you, Greg. Well, evidently so. Evidently, Joe Biden doesn't believe that the Supreme Court applies to him, their rulings.